Srimati Agatha Sangma ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman, sir. I had submitted for an adjournment motion, but I'm thanking...
Please come to the text.
Yes, sir. So on the 4th of December, a very unfortunate and condemnable incident took place in the village of Oting in the Man district in Nagaland, where about 14 civilians were shot dead by the armed forces in a so-called counterinsurgency operation. So this is not the first time that an incident like this has taken place where innocent civilians have had to bear the brunt of the draconian laws like the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. It also reminds us of an incident that took place in Manipur in 2000 in Imphal, which is also known as the Malom massacre, where over 10 civilians were shot dead, and it prompted a 28-year-old Irom Sharmila to go on a 16-year-long hunger strike. So yesterday, various political leaders across party lines spoke about this issue and condemned it. Even the Home Minister gave a statement regarding this incident. He informed the House that an SIT will be constituted in order to probe this issue. But I also believe, sir, that it is time that the elephant in the room be addressed, which is that the Armed Forces Special Powers Act be repealed.
Thank you. So,
Sir, please give me 30 seconds. It's a very, very important issue. Sir, I would like to quote a poem by Maya Angelou, just one line. I quote, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. So this incident has been condemned by every possible student union from the Northeast, be it the Lotha Student Union, the Khasi Student Union, Northeast Student Union, Naga Mothers Association, Manipur Women's Gun Survivors Network Global, Alliance of Indigenous People. My own political party, the NPP, has condemned it, including our
Sunita
Chief
Dagul.
Minister. Sir,
please conclude. No?
Sir, just one more. So even the Jeevan Reddy Committee had, it had recommended that this act be scrapped. And therefore, sir, on those lines, I would like to say that, ever since in the Northeast, there have been procedures where the armed forces within themselves can address these issues, and a lot of prosecutions have taken place.
Yes, madam, 30 seconds is already over.
Sir, please, just one more minute,
please
one more second. So, sir, I would just like to say that the reason why AFSA was enacted in 1958 was to ensure that insurgency be stopped in Northeast, but it has not been able to do that. We can clearly see that insurgency has not been helped because of the enactment of AFSPA, and therefore, instead what it has done is it has caused civilians to be unfairly tortured, raped, and killed. And therefore, I take this opportunity, sir, not just on behalf of my party, the National People's Party, but also on behalf of the people of Northeast, that this act be kindly repealed.
The stand that we have taken on the Armed Forces Special Power Act has been there for a very long time. It's not that we just decided this, in the last few days. So from our leader, late Mr. P.S. Sangma's time, we have opposed the Armed Forces Special Power Act. So it's been a stand for a very long time. So it's not that we just did it just now. That's number one. Number two, what we need to understand is that we need to look at the larger point. And the larger point here is really about the issues that we face in the Northeast, whether it's the development issues, whether it's issues related to youth, insurgency, issues of identity, the peace and the law and order situation, and national security. And the whole situation of looking at it from the point of view of a stand that one takes. Now the problem here is that we all agree on the issues that are there, but it is a stand that we take on a particular point that we differ in. For example, now law and order is a problem, but then some people felt that AFSA, the Armed Forces Special Power Act, is the way to move forward. But then we have seen that that stand of putting the Armed Forces Special Power Act has not really given any results. And in the last many years that the Armed Forces Special Power Act has been there, it has only been counterproductive. And there has been more unrest, and have had situations where a lot of precious lives have been lost, and people had to go through a lot of pain and suffering. So therefore, we're very clear in our stand that though the issues are there, and we need to address those issues, there are many other ways to address those issues. And Armed Forces Special Power Act definitely is not the way to address those issues. And that is why we continue to keep our stand against the Armed Forces Special Power Act, and we will urge the Government of India to repeal this draconian act.
Nagaland ki Mon district ki manung chanba Oting da thoki ba thaudok ta lai khidraba sing ki maphamda amadi imung manung ki awaba da saruk yaba utpa oina National People's Youth Front na maira katuna awaba phongdokre. NPP Manipur State ki makhada National People's Youth Front na sinduna Kanglagi nongchup thong mamangda NPYF ki National President Ratika Yumnam, NPYF Manipur ki President Laitonjam Jayananda amade NPYF ki miyoi singna saruk yatuna Assam Rifles na miyoi taraga manga thabak suba chatluraga halakpada kaptuna hatkibada laikhidraba sing maphamda awaba phongdokhe.
Nagaland ki Mon district ke manung sanba Oting village ta security force na misam tara humdoi hat kiba adu yaning da phongdok pa galoi na laikidraba miyoi sing adu gi maphamda awaba phongdok pa oina ngasi NPYF Manipur na candle lightning gi thorom pangthokre. Candle lightning gi thorom adu Kanglagi western gate ta pangthokhi thorom adu da NPYF ki lusingba kya su sarugya ke thorom adu da sarugya ki ba singna mihat adu gi asumba purakna ba amade laikidraba singi imung manungda matik sa batengbang pinana ba dabi tawke.